Good evening. After plunging in a swimming pool for his last music video, Xavier Toscano dances on the rooftop in his latest video, Never Wanna Leave. Santa Clara County is adding a new service for transgender people. Anthony Ross from the Office of LGBTQ Affairs for Santa Clara County has details. And we talk with the only political action committee that advocates for civil rights for the LGBT community in San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, and Monterey counties on this May 2018 edition of Outlook Video. Good evening and welcome to Outlook Video, your nationally recognized award-winning news magazine for the LGBT community. I'm Christine Conkle.
And I'm Raymond Donald Hong. On tonight's program, Roberta Gonzalez-Gregg will talk with recording artist and perennial guest Xavier Toscano, who has just released his new music video. He's danced through the streets of Hollywood in To the Sky and swam underwater for Apologies Wasted with a nod to Esther Williams.
Now, Toscano is dancing on the rooftops in Los Angeles with a nod to Busby Berkeley in his new video, Never Wanna Leave, which you will see later this half hour.
The County of Santa Clara is raising the bar on how local jurisdictions serve the transgender community with a new multidisciplinary transgender health clinic through Santa Clara Valley Medical Center and a new program manager for transgender services in the County of Santa Clara Office of LGBTQ Affairs. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anthony Ross is the new program manager, and he joins Gabrielle Antolovich in the studio later in the program.
BAMEC is the four-county LGBT political action committee advocating for the civil rights of LGBT people since 1984 and is the only political action committee dedicated to this purpose for the counties of San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, and Monterey.
Maureen Heath from the Bay Area Municipal Elections Committee will talk with Gabrielle later in the half hour. But first, recording artists Xavier Toscano and Roberta with a little poem.
Outlook Video is proud to say we've brought a fabulous artist your way to show the diversity of being LGBTQ and bring you many creative talents to you. Oh, yes, we do. Tonight, we're happy to present an encore of Xavier Toscano and his latest music score. He has a new video making the scene, which will make you dance and maybe scream. We welcome him with great delight and enjoy his energy and insight. Xavier, welcome.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. Here again.
Here again, and yet another limerick and another great time with you.
You're very talented.
Yeah,
Thank
okay. Thank you. But thank you also for bringing something to us that we'll see a bit later, is your new video. Tell us all about it. Never Wanna Leave.
Again, I want to say thank you. I appreciate that. Well, what would you like to know?
Well, I know it's exciting. It shows you dancing in what it obviously looks like a studio, but it also shows you dancing on the rooftops. Where is this? The rooftops at?
We were in downtown LA. I shot in downtown LA.
Yeah. It looked bright and sunny, so we weren't sure. So it looked like it had to be maybe Southern Cal, or we were wondering if it was someplace close by. You've got some great talent with you as well, and you said that. Earlier you said that you have Brian Brooks, I believe it is.
Yeah, Brian Brooks.
Who worked with you as the choreographer. Tell us a little bit about how that transpired and how your teamwork came to be with that.
You know, it's really funny because I met Brian when we both auditioned for a Bollywood company in Milpitas.
Ah.
We both landed the job. And I noticed how talented he was. And, this is before I started singing, but right at the point where I was going to. So I quit dancing and started to sing. And I've been working with Brian for quite a while. He's very, 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 very talented. I really appreciate his friendship and his work. He's very talented. He's been in a video with Usher. He's been on tour. So the guy's a real pro. So I was very lucky to have him.
You can see the excitement of all the dancers and yourself. And you are a local boy, so okay.
San Jose.
San Jose, all the way. So it's good to see that a local boy is doing well and and bringing these bringing your talents.
Thank you.
With the music. You also co-wrote a song, "These Tears," which I.
Oh, you
yes,
saw that.
I saw that
I am
video.
so proud of that project.
You should be. It's an it was well done. Tell us a little bit about that.
I've known Raquela for a while.
Yes.
And I write all of my own material, and I love the way her sound. She's got an amazing voice. She was a Broadway singer, and for a very long time she was top billing in Broadway shows and stuff like that before 9/11. But once the towers got hit, she lost her job. Because after that, people just weren't going into the city as much anymore, and so they started hiring a lot of celebrities to draw people back in. So she said, okay, well, time to go in a different direction. But anyway, so I wrote this song. I'm so proud of it. She's such a phenomenal talent. She's mentored me, and sometimes when I need someone to call. That's who I go to. So we worked on that song, and I'm so proud of it. Thank you for mentioning that.
Well, you should be very proud of the video as well, because it.
I wasn't in it or anything.
No,
but
you were
I
not
wrote
in
the
that
song.
video, but you co-wrote this with her, and you can see that the collaboration came out to a very positive, really a marvelous piece of work.
And you can see in the video too that she celebrates the LGBT community.
Yes,
it's infused.
You can see that
with,
exactly. And speaking of which, in the LGBT community, speaking of the T, you're going to have on July 22nd. Pardon me for checking my notes here.
No, please do.
A night starring RuPaul's Tatiana.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you will be in there. It's a fundraiser for the John Collins Foundation. Tell us all about that. That's coming up July 22nd, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
It's at the Tabard Theater in San Pedro Square.
Okay.
It's a fundraiser, as you mentioned. I mean, what can I say? I'm just really excited. I'm donating my time. I'm bringing a few dancers. We're going to have a great time. Tatiana's going to be there. Yes. I've met a few of the RuPaul's girls, and I got to tell you, they are so much fun. You can't go wrong. And I hope people support it. I hope people come out. And I think we're about 3/4 sold out.
Oh, that's
so
great.
So there's still some tickets.
Because this foundation supports transgender and for gender-conforming surgeries, which we were talking earlier before the show, that can be very cost-prohibitive for people.
Yeah.
So this is really a great thing to do.
Well,
and a great way to show your talents.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it's a wonderful cause in the sense that you're contributing to a better society when you have authentic people. When they feel like they're authentic to who they are, they bring their best self to the table. So
I think that's how we all feel. Once we feel good in our own skin and who we are, we can't help but present that forward. And you see it in all your previous videos, and in this video, your high energy and excitement. It's infectious and contagious. Are there places where our viewers can see more about you and your works?
Absolutely. Please go to my website. Everything's there. Everything's there. It's always up to date. XavierToscano.com.
Perfect. Easy enough. All right, XavierToscano.com. You'll want to see some of his other videos. It'll knock your socks off and get you up and moving. Thank you so much for being with us yet again on Outlook Video. We're going to continue to doing this. You and I have a standing date, Okay.
Done.
Okay.
Many faces, many places, been around the world I do. I've seen the sun around the globe, but it don't compare to you. Same moon, different skies, I heard 1,000 lies. Who needs the world when everything is in your eyes? 'Cause you have it all, Never wanna leave. You don't need to stay here. You make me wanna stay. And with you I know it's really real. how you make me feel. Can't hide from my eyes, this feeling is no disguise. Take my dark heart inside, and you made me feel alright. It's about all of you, there's nothing else I need. If you could stop the world, I'd be down on my knee. I don't wanna go far, never wanna leave. You may just stay here, you make me wanna stay. And with you I know it's really real. You make me wanna stay. And this is how you make me feel. We are inseparable. And me and you are inescapable. When I set my eyes on you, I knew you were my angel. You sending me so high. Never wanna leave. You make me wanna stay. And with you I know it's really real. You make me wanna stay. And this is how you make me feel.
Outlook Video.
Welcome to Outlook Video. I'm Gabrielle Antonovich, and I have with me Anthony Ross, who's the new Transgender Services Manager for the Office of LGBTQ Affairs for the county. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, not just welcome to Outlook Video, but welcome to this new position. Now, it says that you're the services manager. Does that mean you're providing services, or what does it really mean?
Right. Thank you for asking that. I know a lot of people are wondering what is this position supposed to do?
What?
The Office of Affairs in general, it works on policy work and awareness and training and really connecting all the county agencies and contractors with specific types of resources and mostly resources and information. So my position is actually coming in to join in on that work and really hone in a little bit more on the transgender and non-binary community in the county. So what it doesn't include is like direct service work, because we have contractors who are doing support groups and counseling, medical, things like that. So what we're doing is really connecting people and bringing awareness to the needs of the trans community and the non-binary community.
Oh, that's great, because I would hate everyone to think that you can do everything now that we have you.
Right.
That would be overwhelming.
That would be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means that you're going to support agencies and county services to really understand the transgender communities, and I mean plural because there's so many aspects to the community. And how can you do that? Because that's a big job. It's a big county and a lot of services that really need your perspective.
Right, right. Well, and that's one of the things that came out of the survey from 2013, and then the work that the office has been doing really since it began 2.5 years ago has been finding more and more information and data from the community, and a lot of that has come out about the transgender community and the non-binary folks who are at most need, and then even all of the categories within, all the intersectionality of trans folks and non-binary folks and people of color, black and brown folks, folks who need more resources, ability, all that intersection. We've been getting already a lot of information and know that that community, our community, is really severely underserved in the county.
Yeah. You know, I think one of the difficulties people have outside our community is, what is non-binary and how do you get away from binary language?
Right. That's an ongoing conversation for a lot of people, right, to understand.
Yeah.
So we use language in a few different ways, right? And we go through this as the LGBT community, constantly evolving what we're talking about. For the trans community, that specific language is constantly evolving as well. And so I even just use trans rather than transgender, right, for
Right.
short. The non-binary community, and I don't identify as non-binary, so I'm, trying to speak for a community that I don't belong to particularly, but my understanding is that, folks, it's one of the words that people will use to identify when they don't identify with either a binary of male or female. But there's a lot of other words that people might choose to use. So, as a community, we try to make sure that everybody is empowered and understanding that they get to pick, we get to choose what words we're going to use to, identify and describe ourselves to other people. So whatever people use is what we try to have people understand, like just listen, do a lot more listening.
Yes.
And then just respecting what people ask us to refer to them as, right?
Well, it's really interesting how language can lock you up, because there was a family services that wanted to welcome the LGBT community, and they kept saying, well, who's the mother and who's the father? And I remember saying, and I've learned this from non-binary trans people, is that don't ask who's the mother and father, ask who disciplines the child, who nurtures the child when they're sick. And you will find that in the binary world, it's not always the mother and or the father that does stereotypical things, and you may discover more about your families if you don't use binary language.
Right. And I'd even go further and ask, why do you want to know? Why do we need to know, what is the question under there? What's the information you're trying to get when you're asking who's the mother, who's the father? What else are we really trying to understand to help people think about it more, right? Because it is all stereotypical gender role stuff.
I remember back in the 70s, they used to ask lesbian couples and gay male couples, who's the woman and who's the man.
Yep.
So it keeps going.
Who takes out the garbage and who does the dishes, right?
Exactly.
It's
so
old.
Thank you for coming in. And how can people find you and locate you?
Yep. So they can find me easily through any of the LGBT Office of Affairs information. Easy to Google it. You can go right onto the Santa Clara County government site and then search LGBT Office of Affairs, and it'll pop up the website.
Oh, great.
You can also find us on Facebook and Google and Instagram
And all of that good stuff.
And then my email address is up as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Anthony Ross.
We love to get mail from you. Email us at comments@outlookvideo.org.
To contact us by phone, call 408-293-3040, extension 205.
Visit our website at outlookvideo.org.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/outlookvideo.
And connect with us at facebook.com/outlookvideo.
Welcome to Outlook Video. I'm Gabrielle Antolovich, and we have Maureen Heath, who's the secretary for BAMEC, the Bay Area Community Center. Isn't that terrible? No, Bay Area Municipal Elections Committee, and they endorse candidates.
We do.
And so have you been busy already doing this, endorsing candidates? Because it seems that all the candidates are out there in the community already.
Absolutely. We sent out questionnaires to interested candidates, and the board has already issued some in early endorsements.
Huh. So does BAMEC concentrate on LGBTQ issues with all of the candidates? Is that the main purpose?
Well, that's certainly important, but we want to make sure that the candidates that we're reviewing have opinions that are in line with our mission statement of equality for all.
Ah, it just seems that the whole movement, not just about LGBTQ issues, but women's issues, racial issues, immigrant issues, we're all trying to work together, and it sounds like BAMEC has become, you know, full circle in that as well.
Absolutely. The board is very energized in that way.
I wonder why. I think that's great. So besides endorsing candidates, what else does BAMEC do?
Well, we're having an event at the DeFrank Center coming up on March 22nd because Supervisor Ken Yeager is being termed out, and so we're going to have a candidate forum on the 22nd. And we're also having a convening of nonprofits for LGBTQ on March 29th. And we're also involved in LGBTQ youth homeless issues and also senior issues for LGBTQ.
So how do you fit that in with endorsing candidates and supporting issues like senior issues and homelessness issues? How does that work together?
It's policy and legislation, and it's things that the county are doing. You know, Supervisor Yeager has been very proactive in terms of a lot of LGBTQ issues.
Yeah, that's right. So does that mean BAMEC has been part of trying to get funding for an LGBTQ shelter, homeless shelter? Has that been part of it?
Well, Supervisor Yeager has actually been doing that, and absolutely, we were there to testify. BAMEC gave some testimony on the issue as well.
Oh, great. So what's your interest in LGBT senior issues?
Well, I've recently retired a couple years now, and I started volunteering on some senior commissions, and I think that especially LGBTQ seniors, we have issues having to do with social isolation and having an adequate support system.
It's interesting how, you know, when you look at other large cities, they have LGBTQ senior housing and things like that. We don't have that yet. Do you think that is a possibility?
I sure hope so. Don't you think that that's where we're going to go in the future here in San Jose?
I know, we're all getting older here. We're all going to want to live together somewhere and be super gay.
Well, there's certainly some wonderful models out there in San Francisco or in LA with senior housing for LGBTQ.
Yeah, well, that's great. So policy and legislation. So do you feel that in your time with BAMEC, you've made some headway already?
Well, we're working with the DeFrank Center over some senior and affordable housing that may happen in downtown San Jose. So I think we are making some big headway, and there's certainly a lot of energy on the board of BAMEC.
Yeah. It's interesting, the seniors at the Billy DeFrank Center were very excited that BAMEC was interested in their issues and were willing to talk to the Affordable Housing Authority and our city council member, and all of these people are interested. I think it's great.
A lot of energy, but you're spearheading that, right?
Hey, this is like a very small interview between us. Yeah, I mean, you know, quite often we think that the gay community is all about young people, but it's not. It's about all of us.
It's
including us older people.
It's about all of us, but we're also involved with, like you mentioned earlier, the LGBTQ homeless shelter. So there's a whole spectrum of issues that are really important right now.
That's great. So BAMEC is really working on many fronts.
Absolutely, and I think the convening of all the LGBTQ nonprofits on March 29th, that's going to be a great opportunity to sort of...
I better put it in my calendar.
I'm sure it's already in your calendar, but it's going to be a great opportunity for all of us, all the groups to get together and set forth some goals and have a lot of shared ideas.
Yeah. Well, just one last thing. Can people still join BAMEC if they have, you know, the desire to work with you?
Absolutely. We're planning to have some events coming up in the spring and summer, and so people can come to those events and find out more about BAMEC. Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, and check the BAMEC Facebook page.
Absolutely, and thank you for mentioning it.
You can watch extended versions of our segments and archived past programs on Outlook Video's YouTube channel at youtube.com/OutlookVideo. And be sure to click on the subscribe button.
And friend us on Facebook at facebook.com/OutlookVideo. This program is made possible by generous donations from viewers like you and talented volunteers behind the camera, whose name you'll see as we close.
We leave you with more scenes from Sydney's Mardi Gras. From all of us here at Outlook Video, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I want to dance, long strings upon the hour, and the sun begins to fade. Still no time to feel the power, and the chestnut blues are fade. I'm gonna ride up to God. 我喜欢你，我喜欢你，我喜欢你，别放弃，这是梦想，我相信爱情像洒下。